Saskatchewan, you know SaskTel because we're everywhere. Because being everywhere keeps us connected to you. With SaskTel sponsorships, we get to be part of your community. We're here with you and we're here for you. It's easy to get started. All you need to do is apply. SaskTel cares. Always has, always will. To apply for sponsorship, visit sastel.com/sponsorships.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
A very pleasant good day and welcome to Martensville for the SaskTel Curling Stadium SaskTour Spiel. I'm Dave Schmel. I'm glad to have you with us here today. Today we have Team Laycock being skipped today by Sean Meacham against Team Thomas in this A qualifier event. Both teams 2-0 come into this game. Action is underway here in the first end. We see we have a center guard up. 2 in the 8 foot, 1 holding the back 4. Hit and stick there for Thomas. Sorry. Beautiful double take out there, and we're gonna have down to 2 stones for Steve Laycock's squad. See Team Thomas playing 3-handed here. Try to get the info on what exactly the lineup is here. And that's going to tuck underneath and come out the other side. Gonna throw a nice easy weight. Trying to tuck underneath. They are going to be underneath that center guard, so a cleanup attempt will be available. Gonna get the hit, no roll. So the Thomas rink's going to try to tuck one underneath here. It sounds like I may be being joined by my good friend, Jim Nix. How you doing, Jim?
Good, Dave. How are you?
I am super fantastic.
Apologies for being a little late here. I guess I got going a couple minutes early, so.
Oh, I don't think we're ever upset about that.
No.
So we have Laycock with hammer here, throwing the blue stones. Looking to tuck one underneath here.
Yeah, I had both these teams yesterday, and I'm not quite sure who. I heard you saying a minute ago. I'm not quite sure who's throwing third for Meacham. I don't know who that would be.
And it does appear that the Thomas rink is playing three-handed. Not sure exactly what three they are. Do you know, Jim? I know you caught some games earlier.
Yeah, I did one of their games yesterday. He played with three yesterday as well. I'm not quite sure who's missing. I'm fortunate enough to get a team playing shorthanded and no jackets with names on them. That doesn't help us.
And I wish I could say I know every curler by face, but I don't.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of the guys out west, and I don't know either. So.
Well, I know that Laycock is actually in Colorado right now playing doubles.
Oh, is that right? Okay, I was thinking he was probably in Vernon at the spiel there, but yeah. Colorado's very, very active in the U.S. They picked up curling a lot over the last number of years.
Absolutely. So here's Sean Meacham. Got to take out the second shot stone and lie too. Now, would you like to roll under here, Jim? Or?
No, I don't think I'd be real excited about rolling under. I think if I stay right there, I'd be okay. You roll under, I think that there's a chance if you make it real good, then you're going to force the other team to throw the threes down there, and I think that could hurt you eventually. Probably not getting three.
I feel like I'm a little bit closer to my home club here. We throw red and blue stones.
Oh, yeah?
I personally have terrible luck throwing yellow.
Oh, is that right? Yeah. Ours are yellow and red at our club, too. Yesterday, I said yellow a couple times. And I don't know where I got the yellow from. The only thing I could blame it on was the ice machine that we were looking at yesterday was yellow, so I sort of blamed it on that.
So now they're one stone higher. So if you can get that flat roll, I think you try to go for it just for a no risk opportunity here.
Oh, I agree 100%. Yeah.
So we're going to assume this is Charley Thomas throwing the final stone here. If he throws a good one, we'll give him credit for it. If not, we'll say it was another guy.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's Charley. Fairly sure on that one. I called him Charley all day yesterday, so I hope it's Charley.
They're going to get the hit, and it's just going to stick right on out there. So Sean Meacham's going to have pretty much of a layup for a deuce here in the first.
Yeah, it's fairly basic shot. Shouldn't have too much trouble with this one. Plus, he just saw it, so that's always helpful.
We do appear to be on the outside sheet, but I wouldn't suspect that that's a problem this early in the season, especially not with the fine ice makers up there in Martensville. So final stone of the first end on the way. No problem there. It's going to be a score of 2 for Team Laycock with Sean Meacham. They got 2 up on them. We'll be back after this.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's Ice Pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
What you got? You got 1, you got 2, you got...
Just one more throw, please.
You make moments like these possible.
Everything I've worked for, everything I've sacrificed, has led to this. It's out of your hands now. All the gold medals in the world can't help you now. You can throw the perfect rock and still miss, but it just takes one. You leave it all out there on the ice to leave behind a legacy.
This group of people
And back here from Martensville, second end of action in the A qualifier between Charley Thomas and Team Steve Laycock, being skipped by Sean Meacham. Dave Schmel along with Jim Nix here bringing the action. It was a score 2 for Laycock in the first end. They're throwing the Bluestones. So now Charley Thomas gets a chance with Hammer here in end number 2. Brandon Grinan comes right on down and makes the tap, and I think he got that beautiful shot where it's got the tap and the raise, and it's still a guard.
Yeah. It took a little time yesterday too, calling shots, which is a bit surprising to me. I thought, most people I think here are just going around the corner right away and figuring it out after that. So they eventually get to that, but took a couple minutes.
Yeah, with the way they're lined up, I don't think I'd ever come into the 4. You could always contemplate throwing a second corner, but it's a good chance to come under because that's where the Laycock squad is going to go.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. That for sure was Matt Lang, so now we're getting closer.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
If anybody knows in the chat, please chime in. We accept help.
Pretty good effort. Not quite buried, but lots of curl on this ice I found yesterday. There's lots of curl. Not quite as much curls last weekend, but nice curl and certainly good to play on.
And I got to try to ease this one past that corner guard. Now try to work it over. They're going to get the hit now. Is the roll going to settle in nice? A little bit short. So.
Good try, but it does leave Thomas a good opportunity as well to get half buried behind there. We're totally buried. Pretty short run is the only problem, but good roll to the corner too, I guess.
I think that is what they're going to elect to do eventually. The initial indication looked like they want to go underneath the center, but as you mentioned, pretty short run. This one's coming up. Nice, easy weight. Not going to get any roll, though.
No. A little bit of cat and mouse here. Guys playing the same shot and nobody quite making it right. Close, though. Everybody's around it.
Very indicative of the early ends, trying to get a feel for the ice. Now, this being the A qualifier, this is only the third game for both teams, and likely the only game they've had on this sheet.
Yeah, and I don't think either team has played a lot this year, if at all. I haven't seen their names. I had to go back and look a little bit yesterday. I didn't see them having played many events, if any.
There's another one of these shots that are made, but it's not quite there. But this looks like a little bit of a better opportunity to get a roll under.
Yeah, it's only just a rock, basically rocking a bit. I think he's got lots of room by the guard, that's for sure. It's that shouldn't really become a factor.
So our mystery middle player with the Manitoba tuck. Gonna get a hit and be half buried again, but edge on edge there. It's not gonna be able to get under it.
Yeah, it's just hard to get it to make that last little move. It's really looks like really nice ice. Just doesn't have the sort of real hard finish, I guess, which sometimes it takes to make those shots when you come by a guard like that.
So here comes the third for Sean Machin. And they're going to try to roll back to the center, it looks, and going to make the hit. And once again, we're just not going to get all the way under. Not bad, but that kind of looks like there's a triple there, Jim.
Yeah, I think he has to play that for sure. Definitely a very makeable triple. I don't know if he can make it if he hits it on that side. It's probably going to leave the top one, but we'll get rid of a couple for sure.
I'm thinking at this point, in the end, you're pretty sure you're not going to be able to build yourself a deuce. So that's to try to avoid the force, I would hope.
Yeah. He's going to try to hit it on the center line side, so he'll probably leave a blue one, but if he hits it right, he might be able to spin his red one into the circles too, which might give him a little opportunity afterwards.
This one coming with a good amount of pace. Trying to hold on to the line. Going to catch a piece. And 1, 2, 3. That is Mr. Clean right there.
Yeah, he made that easier than I thought he could even make it. I knew it was there, but I didn't think it would leave a blue one. But if he hits it right, he might be able to spin his red one into the circles too, which might give him a little opportunity afterwards.
This one coming with a good amount of pace. Trying to hold on to the line. Going to catch a piece. And 1, 2, 3. That is Mr. Clean right there.
He makes a lot of those shots easier than they were way back in the day, if you will.
And we peeled that guard, so we have a wide open house for the last few stones. Likely on our way to a blank end here.
Yeah, it looks like that.
So, Team Laycock had wins in this event over Dirksen and Jacobson on their way through the A qualifier. And Charley Thomas, the win over Carson Edie on their side, both 2-0. The winners will qualify.
That's a big game to win. It's always obviously easier to go through the A side in these events, and well, not easier, but just nicer if you can do it, I guess, and get a few hours off and a chance to relax, and you don't have to stress the losses that you might get in B or C division.
You used to always joke about it being the gentleman's way through the draw.
Yeah.
Whereas a couple weeks ago in Beaumont, saw Sixton Totzig and Dustin Kaltoff make the finals all the way through the C qualifier, 9 games.
Yeah. Yeah, the triple knockouts are nice because you get that benefit of not being out until you lose 3 games. But man, it's you do some playing if you're in that lower division.
I'm probably just going to draw the other side here, try to get a good read on the ice. Both these squads flying the flag of Saskatoon.
A little hot.
That does skitter through the back. Well, might as well try to freeze to it.
Yeah, I don't know why you wouldn't. It looks like there's enough room there to, even if you're just a little tiny bit short of it, just makes that blank just that little bit harder.
But then again, it would have Thomas take the hammer into an odd end with the blank. So
Yeah.
if you're being really advanced with strategy early in the game, you could make that case.
Good practice draw for Sean Meacham too. So pretty nice weight.
Yeah, just trying to. That's a good chance to let this get dialed in a little bit. You're going to need it at some point during the game.
Yeah. I find it interesting sometimes when you're in that same position as Thomas was in Thomas was in with the first red one. But if you put this shot in the middle of the sheet versus trying to throw it out in the wing somewhere and get a miss out there, you hardly ever get a miss anymore. So I wonder if sometimes the middle's better. At least they have to roll 6 feet to blanket.
Well, final stone on the way for Sean Meacham. Looking for the blank. And that is peeled like a banana. And that'll be a blank end. We'll be back for the third end after this.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
It's going to make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Back here in Martensville for the SaskTel Curling Stadium. Martensville SaskTour Spiel. That is a mouthful. We got the first stone as a very, very, very tight center guard. I think they're going to consult to see whether that's a biter or not.
I don't know if you can still do that, can you? After a shot has been thrown, I'm not sure that you're able to go back and measure.
remembering back to my officiating class, I do believe you certainly can, because it could have been, in theory, could have been disturbed in between.
Yeah.
You know, by phone. So I'm.
Well, the gentleman's game, you probably should let them.
Yeah, almost certain. Or maybe you forgot to do it. I mean, that's a great thing about curling. The minutia of the rules is not something that, you know, is very important. It's more about the spirit of curling, and it does look like we're going to get an appearance by the biter bars. So, for 10 attaboys, what do you think, Jim?
Well, what do I think? I think it's out. So I think it's in outside the house and not hittable or touchable by the red team, at least.
And it looks like it is indeed out. It doesn't matter whether you think no, that's the interesting thing. The center of the house is exactly where the center pin is, regardless of where the rings are.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
One of the duties when you're officiating is to actually take the biter bar and walk around all the houses and verify that it's accurate to the center pin. And if it's not, you actually will post little diagrams so the teams can inspect where it's a little bit out of whack.
Wonder what he would have played here if it had been just biting. I guess it more affects the next shot than it does this shot. Probably if it was still biting, just biting, he might have still come around. But then Thomas could have ran it back, whereas right now he can't. So,
well, if that was a come around attempt, it's definitely light, but it takes that corner away from Thomas. So they're gonna elect to draw underneath their own corner. I think this is going to develop into an interesting end here. Matt Lang with that delivery.
It's go a little bit too, I think.
Just a raise coming here for Meacham.
He used a little more oomph on that, but Thomas might play the double here.
Yeah, I think if you play it right, you might even be able to, just as you see them indicating there, skid it underneath.
Yeah.
Now, what's the benefit of being on one side as opposed to the other, Jim?
For one side of the sweeping? Or one side
no. To roll, they're debating what side they want to roll to.
Well, I think if you ever have a choice, you'd rather be behind your own stone than the opposition stone. Just if he decides to run it back, I think is the big thing. And here, he actually with Thomas, even for him, he could probably go either way. But I think I'm still going to try to go behind my own rock usually. I just don't know for sure if he really wants to get underneath those corners. I guess he would have to. Down 2. Looks like a lot of ice. I'm not quite sure.
All right, Matt Lang with his third delivery.
That was an interesting way to get there, but a great shot.
That definitely did kind of mosey its way through that hole.
Yeah, I just, I'm still not sure exactly if they seem pretty comfortable with that shot. They didn't seem like it was a surprise to them, so they must have been playing that, but it seemed like an odd choice to me.
All right, so now we have the answer coming from Team Laycock. They're trying to come on down and just ease past those guards. You pass the first one, the second one, hit it, and slide all the way underneath your own guard. That's not bad at all.
Yeah, very good shot. Spun back a little bit at the tail end there to give Thomas a chance to get at it, but still a terrific shot. You can consistently throw that kind of board weight type hit and do it every time, then you can make a lot of shots around there, those guards that are, 2/3 buried or more sometimes.
Absolutely, especially when you're playing with a good set of stones which have live striking bends.
Yeah.
So this is Tyler Hartung. It is Jaden Schwaga that did not make the trip for Charlie Thomas's squad this week.
Oh, okay.
And also thanks to our correct research team, we know this is Braden Stewart throwing this stone.
Wow. And a great job. As I said, I did both these games yesterday. I never ever figured out who this was. And Hartung guy, we thought Schwaga was playing the whole game last night. So anyway, we apologize for doing that.
Well, it depends. Did he make his shots or not?
Pretty good game, yeah.
They won, so.
Yeah.
Okay, he's just going to try to get this one to get past the guard. You're past it for sure. Now work it over. Going to not get the roll. This time you bury all the way under and even just a skosh over buried.
Yeah, that's a very good shot. It'd be tough for him to get. We apologize for doing that.
Well, it depends. Did he make his shots or not?
Pretty good game, yeah.
They won, so.
Yeah.
Okay, he's just going to try to get this one to get past the guard. You're past it for sure. Now work it over. Going to not get the roll. This time you bury all the way. So now you see Charlie Thomas is going to be pressing the abort button here.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for him. That rock actually could have been one that could have been helpful, but just doesn't want to go that aggressive and come around it at this point.
Already trailing 2. Doesn't want to possibly set up a steal this early.
Yeah.
Get one going. Going to get that other one to clear the house. Brush it that last little bit, and it is going to be a lousy outside biter back there.
Okay, I guess that one was off. I didn't see that one hit the board, so I was wondering what. Certainly opens it up a lot, though. And Thomas still has his couple of corner guards if he can find a way to use them.
But now with Meacham here, how do you try to generate this into a possible steal?
Yeah, I think it's a two shots here for me. I guess is you throw a tight guard on the one biting the 4-foot there if you're really serious about stealing, and if you're worried about him using the corners, then you come around the corners to the top of the house. Never a good idea. You've heard it all kinds of places. Not always a good idea to go chasing around corner guards without hammer. I don't know if I would do that. I think that the short, real tight guard on the one in the house is a pretty good shot. I don't see Charlie doesn't seem to be ready to kind of leave that one there and go around the corner, so he's probably going to run yours back.
Definitely a couple different ways you could go here for sure.
They seem to be looking at the possibility of playing almost a freeze option there, unless he's talking about what the other team might do. But See what he's decided on. And I go, looks like he's tucking around the corner a little bit. A 2-0 lead. There's nothing really terribly wrong with this. I just don't know. I guess the negativity side of me kind of pops in a little bit, and I see some things going wrong with this shot that aren't going to be helpful for you. So I'm just not sure I'd be going here, but.
So, final stone for Stewart. I'm sorry, for Hartung. I was right the first time, Stewart.
Yeah.
They respond back with a hit and roll and recover here.
This team needs to make a good one here. Looks like it's got to curl a bunch.
Now, maybe change gears and bring it back the other way. If you can freeze over, that would be nice.
Pretty good shot, I think.
That's definitely not the worst.
Well, it worked for that sweeper on the front end. He was trying to make it curl and make it go straight and then make it curl. It's like, got to do a lot of footwork to get around there.
Well, these guys are so good at that now.
Yeah. Yeah, they really are. I suspect he's just playing to pick this clean. Not much else he can do, I don't think. And certainly with that ice, he's not trying to stay around anywhere.
So here's the first of two in the third for Sean Macham. He needs to come up just a touch. Got to come up a touch. Oh, you got it. Didn't want to do that, though.
No. No, it just gives the blank end option back to the Thomas, where he really looked like he was going to be forced here, if nothing else.
You see him taking a little bit less ice after that last half shot.
Just want to make sure you stay here. You don't want to roll out here and have the Laycock team come around the corner and force you to one. So just make sure you hang around. It would be nice to hang around and roll a little bit to our left as we look at it now. But job one.
It's got to curl to do that.
Big miss. Potentially a big miss, I guess.
Oh, we got a no risk draw under for a free force here, really.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if Charley overthrew that or if he just threw it out a little bit or what, but or maybe a combination of both, possibly. Either way, it didn't work. one's all about line. It doesn't really matter if he's near the top of the house or the back of the house, as long as he's behind those guards. Which ironically were set up so nicely for the Thomas team to use, and they just never got an opportunity.
So final still the end for Sean Meacham. Is that going to hang on? Trying to get it out the back, and it's just going to bite.
It'll never just hit. Did the job. There might be some people out there that would still go after that one, but I don't think he can afford to go sailing by, so he just can't afford to go down 3-0. I think you could probably make it with a board weight or something similar and roll out, but he's going to take the one, or attempt to take the one.
So, final stone end number 3. Charley Thomas choosing discretion here. He just needs full 12 foot.
Be casual clean by Lang, so should be good.
And it is indeed good. Single point for Thomas. Laycock leading 2-1 after 3. They'll have the hammer in 4 when we come back.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
SaskTel Be Kind Online wants to stop cyberbullying. Want in on the action? We award up to $1,000 for youth initiatives that help spread kindness and prevent bullying. What great idea do you have to help stop bullying? SaskTel can help. Go to BeKindOnline.com and apply for a grant today. Together, we can make a difference.
And we're back here in Martensville, end number 4. We had Team Laycock with the hammer. Sean Meacham holding the broom and skipping this weekend. He's away in Colorado playing doubles against Charley Thomas. It was Team Thomas that took the single point in the 3rd. So what do you expect out of Laycock's squad here in the 4th?
Well, yeah, it's a good question. 2-1. I think that, you treat it pretty much like it's an even game, which it almost is at this point. So I see the Laycock team getting a little bit more aggressive than they've been the last end, perhaps. So I think if it's me, I'm going corner guard somewhere on this next shot and working it from there. Although if the center guard goes up, I suspect he'll come right around everything.
So that second shot out of the Thomas squad is there and just holding onto the center line, I do believe.
Yeah, I think it has a piece of that, Dave. Looks like it.
And here we come. This is why you're the best color man in curling. You're are coming all right around everything.
Yeah. Just a little light, but yeah, he's just early enough that they can't really do too much with that. So one more shot.
That is definitely a difference now that we play with 5 racks instead of 4. So now it's Matt Lang's chance to try to wrap one underneath everything.
The stagger's really good for whoever gets in there first. They're all lined up in not a very good way to get yours out.
This one looks a little bit hot. To the back 8 there.
Yeah, he shot rock, but certainly not where he'd like to be.
Yeah. Stones have a tendency never to get closer once they cross that tee line.
I didn't catch that. Say it again, Jake.
Oh, those stones very rarely get closer after they cross the tee line.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, they do. Yeah. Having another look at this, he wants to play the draw, and I think there's some of the teams are maybe thinking, why don't we get rid of some of the stuff in the front, which really wouldn't be a bad idea. The bad part is that the two that are closest and most usable are your stones.
I kind of like top 4 right on the center line myself.
Yeah, I think that's where he'll eventually go here, although he's indicating right back to that one. I don't. Oh, okay. So he's playing some kind of split here. Maybe off the top blue one, maybe. Not sure which one, but.
So Chris Heichert looking to rearrange the deck chairs a little bit. This one's going to be awfully tight to the center red.
It is.
It does open it up, but you're giving access to your opponent there.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think, like you say, he does set him up a nice little corner guard there, but I don't think he'll be real excited with that shot.
Okay, so you can hear in the background there, Charley thinking about drawing under, and he's also thinking about throwing another guard.
I think I'm going. I think I'm going in on this shot. I don't see really any reason for throwing another guard now. I mean, he can move both of his, but if you're in there, top of the button, top of the 4-foot, that's a pretty good spot.
He did elect the halfway guard, so
yeah.
Here comes the guard attempt from Tyler. Looks like the ice is just keening up a little bit on both teams. Because I think a little deeper than he wanted it.
Yeah. And almost the exact same shot they had a minute ago to consider.
Here's Sean in the background there. He just suggested the same thing. Same call, hopefully a better outcome. Well, both teams definitely realize that this end is decidedly more complicated now, so it's whether you want to let it be that way or not.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And Sean has decided he's had enough of this. It's one and goes over the top, so didn't get a double peel there.
Yeah, they're having a hard time making contact with their own blue ones in there. On either shot, the little delicate split shot or in the peel. So sure he would have liked to move something else other than just that guard there.
So now we're going to see a little bit more of the same. I think that Thomas senses an opportunity here. Just a matter of when to pull the trigger to come under.
Try to be a little higher than he was on the last one. It's not that.
No. Does there come a point, Jim, where you think Laycock should just come right in with, Sean should just bring it in under himself?
Yeah, I think you could get to there. I don't know if they're there here. I think I'd like to open that up a little bit. If it was me, I'd certainly like to move something on the front. Still trying to keep the possibility of a 2 alive, but we're going to get another again if he gets anything.
Well, it definitely rearranged the furniture.
Yes, I think those 2 blue ones have a reverse polarity magnets or something attached to them. If they don't want to be hit by anything, it's hard to believe that they would be in a little more contact than they've had on those last 3 attempts down there.
All right, so Braden Scott here, Tyler Hartung is going to try to come in the top 4 himself. Sensing the opportunity here.
This could be very good.
They called that to be T-line weight. Tuck it, and it's going to be right just back of the pin.
You should definitely make some contact this time, I think. Dave, there's not any red ones in the way, so you should be able to move something with the blue rocks. It's playing a split again.
They got to get past this corner guard. And they just do. Going to get the split. Now, how far do they raise it? Not a bad outcome. They end up being 2nd and 4th shot now. But lucky to come right back in.
Yeah, I think they'll probably remove the blue. I would suspect the one in the house, but may not. Only 2-1, though. I don't know if you want to get how deep you want to go here.
Yeah, because correct me if I'm wrong, Jim, but I see the biggest danger is if in freezing your own is the angle off of the blue rock is still good to do damage on it.
Yeah, it is for sure, yeah. I think it's one of those shots that you can, if you make it exactly perfect, it's great, but there's just so many possibilities of going just slightly wrong. If you're just a little heavy or something like that, and you set up a double on the res, all of a sudden you're like, wow, I'm in big trouble here. You just kind of got back in it. You might be able to come off the blue one and get half of the air and spin up a little bit without leaving it right there as wide open. It's for double, but Ron's got that center line, one that he can now run back that he wasn't able to do before. Looks like he's going with the draw. I think.
So key shot here early for Charley Thomas coming up. So you like to be dead nose, or do you want any bit of angle at all here?
I think I'd like to be dead nose if I could get to there. It's got to curl quite a bit when it goes by the guard, but I'd rather be dead nose. If you're a bit of an angle, and he runs the blue one back, depending on the angle. I mean, it might jam on your other one, but I think there's more opportunity that he'd be able to get rid of both stones than if you're right on the nose. I think it's going to be a pretty tough task to get rid of both. I thought he might hit that blue one, but I think he looks at it now as possibly a helper in a way. So
looks to be just a little bit hot. I think they're gonna
make a decision soon, I guess.
They're gonna play off of it. It looks like gonna go to plan B. We just snuggle up on top, get the
Really
roll,
close.
and can you snuggle over on it? Ooh.
Well, I think definitely a double there.
Definitely a double, but do you ever try to set up a big crooked number now?
You could, yeah.
You hear the suggestion there by Sean to do that, but then the counter argument is they're just going to throw a guard on the run.
Yeah. Yeah, if you make the double, you're probably going to sit 2 still, but the problem is, you might roll a little too far, and no matter where it rolls to, there's probably been a good chance of a double for Thomas. So you might not end up getting your multiple score anyway.
Definitely a lot of angles to consider here in the next shot, because this is not so much about what you make, it's what you leave.
Well, you're right, yeah. It's going to be interesting. I'm curious to see how hard he's going to throw this.
I think I heard him say like normal up.
Did he? Okay.
Definitely looking at some sort of double.
Yeah, and if he's throwing that weight, there's the definite possibility he may end up moving his other blue one out too. You have to get at least 3/4 of the rock.
Sean meets him with his first. And you do make that double.
Yeah, that was the one problem with throwing that kind of weight at that shot, and is that, there's a good chance everything goes, and if it does, then Charley hits and sits 2 and forces you to 1 or.
Did end up jamming on their own there, but so now he's going to be a hit and roll back under cover. That's going to leave a run there. Possibly.
Yeah, could be a run for 2. Yeah, double run, double takeout for 2.
Oh,
could hit it right on the nose, and you leave a double, but a double would roll out more than likely.
This is another shot. You want to make it just right.
Yeah. The nose hit looks good, I think, to me, Dave, but just but as easy as these guys make run backs look these days, they're not gimmies, so rolling underneath wouldn't be a bad thing. He has to stick it to score, but he does have a chance at 2.
Final stone for Charley Thomas. Hitting. It's going to be right there, dead nose. Now, let's entertain it. Do you think it's there?
I think the double's there. I just don't know that you can stay by making this double. It looks like he's looking at just a nose hit the way he tapped there. Pretty sure you roll out if you go after the double.
It'd be a whole different ball game if that center guard was nibbling.
Yeah, no, you're right.
So final stone on the way for Sean Meacham and number 4. Got to work this over. Could get the one who might have a shot at the double. It's going to jam it on and clear. Are you going to hang on? It's still, well, you gave it a run. So it's one for sure. I'm going to take a close look at it.
Unless somebody kicked it during the end, and it should still be the same as it was when you measured it. I don't think he was playing that shot. I think that just was an accident. So it's,
I certainly think so too.
Yeah.
But looks like we are going to get the biter bar. We can go a whole weekend without seeing the biter bar. We've seen it twice already.
Oh, yeah, I know, you're right. In the same game for the same rock. I don't know if I've ever seen that before.
That one appeared to clear without a problem. So the laws of physics survive. It's a score of 1 for Laycock. 3-1 after 4. We'll be back.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardlines Ice Pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed? More innovation?
It's gonna make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
Just back here in end number 5. 3-1 for Team Laycock with Sean Meacham skipping. Charley Thomas has a hammer. They're throwing the Red Rocks, looking to put up the corner guard.
Yeah, not a lot of hands left to go, so Thomas' team's going to have to get it going a little bit here. It's getting one doesn't really benefit you too much.
Oh, we had a really busy end last time. So halfway through, what are your impressions of how the momentum is here and how the game's rolling?
I think it's pretty even right now, to be honest. I don't think too much. I think the Laycock team has had a little bit of more opportunity to maybe do some things different, which they chose not to do. So I think it's pretty even right now. It's, Thomas got hammered back pretty cheaply there. So it's, I don't know. I like their chances, even though they're down 3-1.
So relatively conventional opening, a guard and draw under. Now that one did slide just behind the tee line. So Thomas is going to entertain the idea of coming right to it.
Well, he covered all 3 shots there. He covered the in-turn, come around, the out-turn, come around, and the draw around the corner with just a swing of the broom on each one. So they've chosen the in-turn.
Lang and Hartung trying to get this home, but it does not have enough petrol.
No, I kind of needed that one. He certainly didn't need it to be light. This could be in trouble, a little bit of trouble here just earlier on than he certainly liked to be. Down 3-1, you don't want to have to find yourself running out there peeling off guards right off the bat. So, and you might do that if he makes a good one here.
So, Chris Heikert trying to lock one right on. Stewart and grind him on the sweep. Not going to get all the way there, but it's counting, and it puts another guard in the way, so a chance to get out of it for Thomas. Still scary with all those rocks up there.
Yeah, a bit surprised. I think it's, I know it's early, but at the same time, that's a lot of rocks to move around, and I don't know. I think I might have been trying to run the blue onto the red onto the blue kind of thing on that shot, this shot. It's a very makeable shot for these guys, and even if you make this, and if you make it and he just follows you down, then you have a problem. You're still going to have to move something. This one's
this
heavy.
stone is not light, no. So now you got catchers, all kinds of trouble.
Yeah.
Second stone for Chris.
Well, that's not much better of a shot. That's some bad misses here, like in this end early here.
Looking at the intern side, I almost think I want to come to the out turn now.
Well, you move the blue one over to where the out turn is. It's a little bit more accessible on the out turn. He's got a little more support in the in turn, but I don't know which way he's going to go here. If they know the out turn, I think the out turn is an easier chance to get shot or get closer to being shot and not be removable. Got to get one in the right spot here, though.
So Tyler Hartung needs to throw this shot for Charley.
I'm going to have to go hard to get this by, I think. Well, it must be okay.
Trying to make it really good.
Nicely done.
Could definitely roll underneath here. And you could probably actually set up onto the corner of the Thomas rock and freeze in there.
Yeah, it
make it really, really good.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that Charley was looking to move. Thomas was looking to move that blue one on that shot or not move it that far. But at least it didn't cause worse problems for him yet.
Looking to try to make the double here. That's just going to hit and stick. So we're trading a lot of half or even quarter shots here.
Yeah. So great opportunity for Thomas here now. He can make this little hit and roll, and they can all of a sudden be in pretty good shape. Other than having to play around that center all the rest of the end, they could be in pretty good shape considering it didn't look like it was going that way.
So Tyler Hartung.
This looks good.
Gonna get the hit and roll right under cover, over buried. Not bad at all.
Meacham saying very aggressive here.
Yeah, you see them. I heard the front end thinking that they might like the intern, but they're going to go with the out.
Yeah, I can understand that. I mean, the intern right now, where he doesn't need to get to the one that's on the button, even if he just sits on the nose of the one on the left side, there wouldn't be a bad shot. It'd be very difficult for them to remove, and a really solid number 2. So
here's Braden Stewart. Got to get all the way down if you can, as far as you can take it. That's a pretty good effort.
That's a really nice shot, yeah. So I don't know if he can get to the nose of this, but he can get pretty close. So if he can just throw, back no more than back 4-foot weight at this, I think he could have a good shot. Could make a good shot. A lot of ice, so he's certainly not planning on throwing it very hard.
Yeah, I think you're throwing maybe back line or just through weight.
Yeah, I think at the very most, yeah.
Back 12 here. Back 8. On it hard for the line. Seem to be happy with it. Gonna make contact. You move him a little bit and you sit second, third, and fourth. Actually, 1, 3, and 4. I believe.
Yeah, that's a very good shot. Yeah, you say, it just looks like. I think I agree. I think red's number 1, then blue's 2, and red's 3, 4. But you're not far from being able to score multiple points here.
Now, Jim, do you think you have enough room on the intern side to get to the face of that shot rack?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know if they think so, because nobody's really looked much at that intern in the last few shots, and I would think it would. Now, the question here, though, is how hard do you have to go to protect that blue stone of yours that's on the button? If you go intern, you come around, you don't quite get there, you're going to be looking at a lot. So I don't know if that's the best call or not. But right now, it's Charley Thomas has got a couple options. He's got that out turn run, or the run back on the rock that's far out there. I saw him make a couple in the game yesterday. He made 2 great comeback or run backs, and I don't know if I would want to leave that either. So.
Now taking a look at the angles here.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything for Meacham on as far as any kind of a takeout goes. I assume he's looking at what Thomas might do when he points all that stuff out. I don't see anything for him on as far as a takeout goes.
I did hear in their chatter they suggested the possibility of throwing a guard.
Yeah.
It's probably not the worst idea in the world.
No, I think it's a guard or it's the intern come around. If you think you can get to the red on the back of the button on the intern on the come around, I think that's the shot. Otherwise, I think that you have to throw some kind of a guard here, and maybe a guard that comes into about where would it be? Probably about 3 feet in front of the rings, that maybe partially guards and partially takes that run back. I know it looks like a 1 in 100 shot, and it might be, but if he ever makes it, it's for a lot. So just got to be a little bit careful with it. After all that, looks like we're going to go intern anyways. Funny, they really didn't look much at this. At least we didn't seem to be looking much at it at all. But
so key shot coming up here for Sean Meacham. Skipping for Team Laycock. Want to get right to the face of that shot stone. This needs to move in. It will come to the corner and nuzzle off, so they're sitting second and third. So what can Charley Thomas cook up here, Jim?
Yeah, well, Charlie's going to he's got to look at playing his red tap onto the blue and just flop that inside a little bit, just where they just pointed out, sit 2. That would be one option for sure. The other shot would be to come follow Craig down, I think, or I say Craig. I always say Craig. Follow Meekin down and just try to get to the same spot. Almost just move that, get a little tiny bit inside of that, and he could sit number 1, 3, and 4 again. I kind of like the tap. I think there's that too. If you ever had the wherewithal to throw that, I just think you'd have to throw that with a little bit of weight if you ever wanted to go red, blue, blue. And I think it's not. I think it opens everything up way too much. So don't get too crazy. You'd be happy sitting 2 here. You can definitely sit 2 without not much of an effort. Just a real nice, easy tap. Right there, basically exactly where they're just demonstrating. And worry about that blue one after. The other blue one, the number 3, what would be number 3? Just when I think they're not going to throw it hard, they sometimes do. So it looked like you put the broom down with hardly any ice. So interesting. I just don't like the idea of opening up this whole side here, which could happen if he's taking even less. So
yeah, just a little tap to me. I feel like keeping your opponent's rock back there is your friend, but
yeah.
Charley Thomas bringing the heat with his first. Lang trying to brush it by, past everything, and we make contact, remove it, and that's a beautiful roll.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, he didn't spare any weight on that shot. He definitely threw it down there pretty hard. You see how if he could have hit it a hair thinner, he probably would have sat 3. But he would have left a little bit more of a pocket for Meacham maybe to play the outturn and sit right in there. This will be an interesting call.
See if we can listen in some here. So indicating if they come around the outturn side, they can get to, if not shot, second shot, maybe even just hoping for third at this point.
Yeah, the 2 red ones are both so close to the pin there that it looks like you're either going to hit number 1 or number 3. But at the same time, it's not a bad shot to try, because at the very least, if you as long as you're not heavy, you take away a bunch of the opportunity for Thomas to score more than 2.
Looks like they're entertaining, hitting what they can see of this bluestone.
Yeah, and thinking that it might move. Well, obviously, it'll move the back one, but it might move the back one that's at the back of the button far enough too. It can be interesting. Shot could go very well or very poorly.
You hear the argument there that it's going to give them a hard draw for 2 if they make it.
Yeah.
There you go. So if it goes by, it's still not an easy draw for 3. So Meacham with his last in the 5th. Need to get this to curl over. It's got to curl. It's gone to sail right on by everything.
I would have actually liked to. I wonder if they can do it over again and make it just so we can see what it looks like when it's done. I'm curious as to what it would look like when all said and done. I think you would have had I feel like you would have had a crack at 3 for sure. I just think the blue one was going to take out one of those reds and probably roll a little bit to the left and give him a shot for 3 anyways. And it might have been an easier shot for 3 than what this one is. That's what I picture in my mind. Draw it out here on my notepad.
So here's Charley Thomas. He's got 2 in the bank. Needs to grab a little piece of the button for his 3rd.
Yeah, sure not a gimme. He's got not very much room to deal with here. He's got probably maybe 1 square foot if you measure it generously to draw to here.
Lang trying to manage it. Going hard. This does not look heavy.
You're going to be really close, I think.
Going to get past the guard now. Is it going to settle in nice? Right to it, and it will stick, and you get your 3.
That is a great shot.
What a fantastic shot by Charley Thomas. They hang 3 there in the 5th. They have the lead. Laycock has hammer in the 6th when we come back.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardlines Ice Pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
Don't forget your brooms.
You got it.
Come on up. Well, what do you got? You got 1, you got 2, you got...
Just 1 more throw, please.
You make moments like these possible.
Everything I've worked for, everything I've sacrificed, has led to this. It's out of your hands now. All the gold medals in the world can't help you now. You could throw the perfect rock.
Yeah.
And we're back here in end number 6. Big draw of 3 in the last end for Charley Thomas. Dave Schmel here with Jim Nixon. Jim, we were talking some of the break about that end and how it played out.
Yeah, it was very interesting because I thought Thomas at the start of the end was maybe not giving himself enough of an opportunity to develop it too. He was playing around a lot of the center rocks, and I just could see it going the wrong way for him. And then it got turned around a little bit, and then I didn't understand why Laycock or Meacham with a 2-point lead wasn't opening it up a little bit. So worked out well for Thomas for sure.
So now we have Meacham and Team Laycock trailing by 1 here in the 6th with the hammer.
It's a big end. 6th end's always a big end, and even more so when you're down a point. Very delicate rock removal, that one.
I think they were hoping to have theirs hang around.
Yeah.
Very important to get those guards set up here in the 6th because now they have to generate a deuce. Corner guard's probably a little bit closer to the draw path than they would have liked.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. It's just another foot over would be a better spot, I think.
So Matt Lang's going to come right on in. Yeah, what made that draw by Charley Thomas so great in the last end was the weight management and how they worked the line, and it just nuzzled in there beautifully. Really, especially with one brusher, such a great shot.
Yeah, definitely, David was. Lang's done a great job all weekend probably so far since he's been by himself. But they did. They had to manage it a little bit. It wasn't just one of those that comes down. You just look at it all the way down and it stops where you want it to stop or doesn't. So he was. He didn't have much to draw to. Like I said, he had a half of the button maybe to draw to without really a whole lot to work with other than just that, and he made it perfect.
Stone there by Team Laycock. Taps back the shot rock a little bit, but still leaves a freeze opportunity here.
Charley's not going to go to defense yet with just a 1-point lead, so he's going to come right around.
This needs to curl over. Now it starts to take it.
Yeah, I think the weight's going to work okay for him. Last time we had a whole lot happening in the 4-foot, and we just might be going to have the same thing this end.
Biggest difference thus far in this end is that the stones are a little bit further back in the house.
Yeah, this will be the last one that really you can freeze to and be shot.
But as long as they keep on coming up to the face, it's going to be very difficult to score a big number, which is really all Charley Thomas needs to do here is get the force.
Yeah, it'd be a great end if he could steal one here, but yeah, ideally just force to one and get that hammer back and try to do your thing in the 7th end.
This one's a little bit picante.
Bounce off a little bit.
Oh, you were saying about freezing and being shot.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a helpful shot for the Thomas team. A little hit and roll here would put Meacham in a pretty good position. Just a half a dozen rocks to come.
So this rock on the way from Braden Stewart, filling in for this squad this weekend. Can't get the tap, but no roll.
She's a full house almost, as they say.
Yep. Jim, call me a stupid club player if you like, but I just like throwing an intern freeze here.
Intern freeze if you're Thomas?
Yeah. Well, you got to tap it just a touch, but...
Yeah. Intern freeze is good. I think the outturn, the same shot on the outturn still works well. I mean, it looks more difficult, but I don't think it's a whole lot harder, and you actually are at least are on the right side of the stone then. But the intern, it looks like when you look at the overhead, it looks like there's quite a bit of room past that guard. So either turn, I think, could work for you. And that's going to be the shot, I think, no matter which one you do. Might be a little easier moving that blue one if you were coming from the, what would it be, from the outturn side. But there is more stuff to get in the way.
I just see an opportunity to really put the pressure on Meacham here, and I'd want to throw the shot to make sure I have the best opportunity of doing that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You hear them indicating they had to get by the blue.
Yeah, I do like this turn, Dave. If it's if you knew you were going to make it, I like this side better than the other side. But like I say, it is just you gotta finesse it through there a little bit more than the other side. A little more room to work with on the in-turn. But either way, if you can make this, you're going to be in a pretty nice position. Laycock or Meacham still has the blue one to work with, but that's a lot of rocks in the 4 foot or 4 foot area.
So Tyler Hartung with his final. Your back four is the call for the weight. Gonna curl, gonna just wick it and get onto the pin. Yeah, they called that.
Well, yeah. I think there should be like a measure. Here you go again.
You see it gets there and it just kind of grabs a little kiss. Just a peck in the cheek and onto the lid.
Yeah, I think when you get like a less than a millimeter rub, then it should be counted as not ever touching it. So it's all I know for sure is that the Red Rocks are in a pretty good spot now. Although, who is actually shot? The Blues probably still shot. Or not. I think Blues shot.
I do agree the Blues shot. I think you can maybe slash off both those Reds. But you probably lose your shot stone on the way.
Yeah. Well, we're going to find out.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting to see what this looks like when it's all said and done. sometimes you have it all figured out, and then when it happens, it doesn't happen quite that same way.
All right, so here's a high, hard one for Braden. Hold the line, hold the line. You hit 1, 2, and right through the hole. And you lie 2 after that.
It's pretty good. That's a better result than I saw happening in my mind. I figured it was that's going to be pretty tough now for Thomas to do too much with those rocks.
Really got to take a really, really good look to see who's second. My first instinct was blue.
Yeah.
Now, if you're Thomas here, if you just kind of kiss your own up a little bit, you might be able to find your way right onto the pin and dead frozen against the back blue.
Yeah, I think you can. I agree with that. Just trying to figure out how you're going to get that, how you get that second point. If you meet him really at this point, if he puts this on there perfect, it's going to be pretty tough to score.
So you see Matt Lang thinking about maybe lobbing something in the top 8, which would indicate to me that they think that their second shot.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to see there. I don't know if any of those rocks moved since we predicted what color was shot a minute ago, but I'm having a hard time looking at it and seeing red is not number 2, and I still think they're just number 2. I don't think they're number 1. I think any kind of a touch here, as long as it's just, a fairly lightweight touch, will at least give you shot rock, which is pretty good if you're Thomas. They must figure their shot, maybe. On the guard.
Nice. Man. I do think that Meacham is shot with the one in the back.
I just feel like
I feel like you're overthinking this a wee bit.
Yeah. I think they feel I could be totally wrong here. I think they feel that their shot, that red is shot, and they're going to guard it up, because I don't really understand if they aren't. And I know you have a 1-point lead, you don't want to drop multiple points, but if you just go down there and move that red one just a little tiny bit, I don't really know what Meacham can do about it. It could end up maybe not a right spot, but assuming you're going to throw the right weight, and he just drew perfect last end, so he should be close.
So here's Meacham's first. Sorry, Thomas's first. Throwing the guard. Just doing the Swiffer on it.
That's exactly what he wanted.
So they settled on a run back, it looks like. It's just which one?
Yeah, it's hard to envision. Like if you play a run back here, you get. I could see it basically hitting both blue ones, so it hits the one on the left or the one on the above the L and Flynn, and that jams and stays there. And the other blue one probably still goes. So if you run a red one back, you could end up with 2 or 3 reds in there and 1 blue, but you still might be safe. I don't know. This is This is why I think the red has to be. I think red has to be shot. I don't think there's a way that he can run, that he can draw down to there and get the second point. I just don't see how that could happen. I don't think he can clear that outside guard.
Why you just gave that explanation, I walked up to my 75-inch monitor and put my nose right on it, and I can't tell you.
No. Well, that's a big screen, so I'm going to go with whatever you think on it.
I still would bet blue if you had to make me bet my house on it, but I like where I live.
Yeah. Yeah.
So here comes the run back attempt, trying to run back the center. Or just open it up.
You definitely open it up from all sides, almost all sides, except maybe the intern now. So
try to listen in on their conversation here. There's Matt Lang suggesting the first shot that we were looking at earlier on.
yeah, I feel like if you were going to guard on the last shot, you'd probably guard on this shot, but I don't see it. Yeah, that's not bad either. I think it's going to be tough for him to do much with what's there.
So I think it's a situation they're going to come into the 8-foot probably, and if they come down to it, they're not going to hate it, I don't think.
No.
I guess the biggest thing to guard against Jim is generating any kind of angle that Meacham can use.
Exactly, yeah, and that's kind of the challenge here. I think right in front of it's good. I just don't know if the freeze is good. I'm not quite sure. It looks to me like if you freeze right to it, you might be able to kind of blast it all out of there and send a couple when he's done, but it's going to be tough. And we won't get to find out who was shot before he threw it.
Final stone for Charley Thomas on the way.
Doesn't want to sweep it, but it needs to curl. Ooh, this is different. I didn't.
That wasn't the intention, and well,
definitely
if it wasn't. If it wasn't blue before, it is now.
Well, now and really a reasonably good shot at 3 here.
So where do you got to hit it?
I think you got to hit it. Well, if you're looking at the overhead camera here, I think you have to hit it about probably, would that be about 10 o'clock? Right about where that broom just touched it. Your shooter goes over and takes the red one that's on the tee line, and the blue comes back and wheels his way around those other 2 red ones. And the one at the top, the button goes out the other side. So just a matter. It might only end up being 2, but I think it goes over top of the back blue. So I think it's going to be a 3 if he hits this where he wants to hit it. I think you got to hit a little bit left of that. That was not a very good shot by Charley. That was like, the miss there has got to be like just short, not bouncing off of things at the back of the 8-foot practically.
Yeah, pretty much anything but that.
Yeah. All right.
So Sean Meacham, he's going to have his final stone here at number 6.
He's throwing this hard. He likes throwing them hard.
Looking to move that red one off the pin and leave 3 of his own in the neighborhood. Coming down.
Oh, might curl too much.
You hit the 1. came up just a little bit too much. It's going to be only a single point. So they score 1. We're tied up after 6. Thomas will have the hammer in the 7th when we come back.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed? More innovation?
It's gonna make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like 1 more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
So, back here in the 7th end, we're all tied up. Charley Thomas has a hammer. And we got a chance. We're going to take a look at that last shot.
Yeah, I think right here, I think it just, if you can hit this a little bit thinner than that, then I think that you as a result, when your one kicks to the right, I think it goes harder into those reds than it did. So, a bit unlucky. And a tough one to figure out exactly where to hit it also wasn't a gimme figuring that out.
So we have the center guard from Steve Laycock's squad up and Meacham, and Charley Thomas coming underneath.
These are always an interesting end, 7th end without hammer. How hard do you really go? And it's, I think you have to go fairly hard to try to force to 1. But it's not always that easy. It's you gotta take some chances if you wanna do that for sure.
Imagine your perfect scenario would be to carry the hammer coming home.
Yeah, it's just hard with the rules nowadays to start out and then thinking you're going to blank it. I know sometimes when you watch them play on TV and slams and things like that, it's hard to believe. There's 7 rocks in play, and the announcers are talking about, well, it's a good chance they're going to blank this, and you're like, well, how are they ever going to blank it? But it happens, and happens quite frequently. But that's only the best of the very best, I think, that can play those kinds of ends. So. But if you can find a way, that's definitely what you'd like to do if you're Thomas here. And Meacham has to try hard not to let him be able to do that.
Now, I think Thomas was trying to Christmas tree that up a little bit, and instead they jostled him around. Don't think you can get by that for a double. Maybe you can.
Well, I don't think, and I think you're going to, you can't afford to lose any rocks here when you're playing, especially since he's not throwing up any other kind of guard, so he's going to have to not lose anything here.
Hard to get it past.
It's going to be close.
Now, get that roll right underneath, and it shimmies right down there to be shot stone. And they lie 1-3.
Yeah, I think that was a really good shot. I don't think you could have done any better than that.
So you got to run that, or run in or straight peel here, Jim.
I think you just run this off. You don't really want to leave your own there, even if you get rid of something in the house, you don't want to leave that center guard up there.
So no problem there by Matt Lang. I think we're going to see this battle a few times in a row now.
Yeah, for sure.
It's all about controlling the angles here. So you leave enough of an angle, you bring those double and triple peels in.
Yeah, it's a good shot. I think it's where you wanted to be. This time I think I'm trying to run it back and pick up something that's in the house. Maybe pick up a couple of the ones that are in the house, whether mine or blue. It doesn't really matter at this point. I'd be pretty happy with one blue and one red going, or all the blues going.
Here's the big peel attempt. Get the one, slide just past everything else. Left a guard.
Yeah, which may help him, or maybe like in the whatever end it was that we were watching, maybe the third end or something. See that again? The ability to throw the big weight is just such a big part of the game now.
Back here to live action, you have Steve Macham's going to lob up another guard.
This one's going to be a little deeper.
Might be able to make a lot of stuff fly here.
Yeah, it's kind of, if it was going to be that deep, I think it would have been good if it had just gone the one more foot and been in there and never been able to get rid of it. But
I think the indication is, I think he thinks he can hold on to the shooter here after making this double.
So he's a little wide, possibly.
Got to remove them both, lose the shooter.
Well, we might not be on our way to a blank end.
Well, that's what I was thinking here. And do you just straight draw underneath there, or you try to hit and get the roll?
Yeah, this is a tough situation here if you're Meacham. I think if you want to get behind that guard, then you've got to just draw behind that guard. The roll is very difficult to make, and you're looking like you're going to be staring that blank end in your face here in a second. But if you go behind, you're also taking a chance of giving up a deuce. So I think all those guards they were throwing, that last guard particularly, they needed that not to go into the house. Can't do anything about that one now. This one looks a little wide as well. It's lighter.
Well, they're going to do that hit and roll. It's just not going to curl up enough.
No. For the Thomas team here, the key is to not roll out on any of these and make sure you stay so that, as I mentioned earlier, I forget what end it was early in the game when when they came around the corner guard and forced Thomas to draw for his one. You don't want to be forced here, so you got to make sure you stay.
And they get hit and stick. So you're trying to slide this one underneath cover?
I think he would like to, but again, he doesn't really want to lose it either. I think he might have resigned himself to the fact now that with the new rules, there's a better chance of him stealing the last end than there used to be. So he might be just thinking that's going to happen. He's in the same position in a sense that he doesn't want to roll out either, but going to be right on the nose, I think. Interesting thing here is if Thomas does hit this right on the nose, I'm pretty sure Meacham will hit it, but he could choose to ignore it and come around the corner now and know that he could actually get shot rock. But up until now, that probably would have been very difficult to do. So I think that possibility exists. The problem with that obviously is if you leave it ever a little bit open, you give up 2. And the ice curl's enough that you might give up 2 anyways. It's just the guard's long enough that it doesn't look it there, but
that's going to hit and just hold on to the side.
So they are going to come around that corner.
See him indicating that he trying to come all the way to the back 12, making it as difficult as possible.
Yeah, I think the trick is to figure out getting it 100% buried, and if it takes you all the way back there, fine. If you can do it at the tee line, that's probably even just as good or better. But you got to make sure you get the line really, really good here because you don't want Thomas to be able to come around with a little bit lighter weight and hit and stay.
Final stone for Sean Meacham on the way. Like the weight, they just gotta try to bury it as hard as they can. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's very good, I think, Dave.
Well, there's a way to get your deuce if you want to try it.
Yeah.
I think it's worth a shot because the worst you're going to do is give up 1 and then have the hammer down 1 coming home.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. And this is a shot that's not unfamiliar for him either. It's just, I said earlier, I did his game yesterday and he made a couple of these, so not easy by any means, but it's pretty much a nose hit. Just a hair inside. But it's all that Sean Meacham could do. He's made a really good shot there. Good decision, I think, too. I don't think it made any sense to go over and hit the other one.
So Charley Thomas looking to make about a 15-foot run and stick. Final stone and number 7. Lying on the brush. Hard on the call. Gotta hurry if you're gonna stick it. You're back there. Will you hang on? No, you won't. It's just going to be a force of one. So it's 5-4 Thomas. Team Laycock will have the hammer coming home in the 8th when we come back.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
SaskTel Be Kind Online wants to stop cyberbullying. Want in on the action? We award up to $1,000 for youth initiatives that help spread kindness and prevent bullying. What great idea do you have to help stop bullying? SaskTel can help. Go to BeKindOnline.com and apply for a grant today. Together, we can make a difference.
And we're back here at the SaskTel Turling Stadium, Martensville SaskTour Spiel. Dave Schmel with Jim Nix. Final end of action coming. Sean Meacham skipping for Team Laycock. They have the hammer coming home in their 8th. They're trailing 1. And Jim, we were talking in the break about that last stand, how just close that was to being a deuce.
Yeah, I mean, we I figured a quarter of inch, and you figured that it was not even that, and you might be right. We'll have a look at it here. It's so hard to call. Wow. Yeah, just a great effort. And really, I mean, as far as you figure he didn't really miss a sweep call. He might have been, 1 second late with the sweep call. It's like, because they went pretty hard on it once they went. It was a heck of an effort. And kudos to Meacham, too, for playing that shot. Like, that's what he was hoping to do, was to force the one by playing it. And it was a hard one, but Thomas still got his one, but that was all.
That draw attempt by the Laycock squad went through the house.
Yeah, that's not helpful.
Tough for Rocks to score when they're in the barn.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a mind blip, a little bit of a mind blip or brain flower or something, right? Because just kind of, anything short there is pretty good.
So now Charley Thomas looking to bring one in, and that one scoots just a hair deep on him.
Yeah, a little bit.
So it looks like we're going to get another one of these 4-foot ends here, buddy.
Yeah, really, for me, I'm quite surprised with this. I'm a bit surprised. I didn't see the call on the first one, but if he was calling a guard, then it would have been crazy heavy. But I don't know. You want to play this in the middle right now. I think Charley will be quite happy to play in there if you want him to. I don't know why you just don't go corner here and figure it out in a few minutes.
This stone also had just a little bit too much hot sauce on it.
Yeah.
So another opportunity for Charley Thomas to get his team in a position of offense when it's really Sean Meacham that needs offense right now.
Exactly, yeah.
This one needs to grind a little bit and catch something. Ooh.
And you get the proverbial wall back there again now, so.
Well.
I don't know if I'm Charlie Thomas, though. I don't know. I'm real upset with that. I'd rather not be behind the tee line, but Beecham has to get 2 to beat me, and I've got 2 that are almost biting the button. Well, I don't know. I'm not terribly.
It just looks like this out-turn side has just gotten keen on him all of a sudden.
Yeah, having a hard time stopping it.
This is one where the front ends need to be cognizant of the fact that the more you throw down the line, even late in the game, it's going to be a little bit quicker.
Yeah, agreed.
So here's Tyler Hartung. Another call. Looks hot, they say. This one curling up a little bit better, but still not getting all the way home.
No.
Yes, it would be nice to get inside a little bit. They like the line.
Yeah.
Here they go. Just squeeze past the guard. And they got inside. The angles look a lot better for them than they did a minute ago.
You're right. You're right about that.
Didn't know we were calling mixed doubles today.
Well, I'm supposed to call mixed doubles in 25 minutes, so I don't know what's going on with that.
I got you, buddy, if we need it.
Yeah. I don't have it. There's no link or anything yet, so see what happens. This is very interesting. This is a lot of rocks in the 4-foot for one of these teams. That can't be a good thing. I just haven't decided who yet.
All right, so here's Tyler Hartung second. Your top 4, but I think it's a little bit heavier than that. Oh, it's going to nestle on in there. It's not the worst.
No.
Because you do have those 2 red stones gunned up on Meacham's blue. And there's not much they can do about it. Let's see if we can hear him talk about the shot.
Okay. They revert to the high hard one sometimes a little bit quicker than I feel like that's necessary, but it's always fun to watch the results. So,
well, you have to make sure that you're scoring 1 here for sure.
Yeah. I almost don't know how he can't score 1 because the blue one's in there so good.
So here goes the granite, and it doesn't go far.
No, and it actually worked out, I think, not bad. There's a lot of blue ones around there now. Not many red ones.
2 good outturns in a row. That's unreal.
You see that bluestone actually came up in the house a little bit.
Yeah, pretty good position, I think, for Laycock right now, or Meacham right now. I think it's a tough call here for the Thomas team.
Talking about a freeze there.
That would be pretty good, I think, actually.
Could he ever come off the one on the side of the 8-foot, kiss off the blue, and come back up into the red and kick out the Laycock rock?
Yeah, that around the horn shot kind of thing. Yeah, I think it's probably there in a desperation situation. I don't know that it's right for just now, because I'm not sure the other blue one's going to go. The one on the center line might just go out a little bit and just leave the red one there. And there would still only be one. Still, red would have just the one.
So let's mark that in our mental shot list for later.
Yeah.
Looks like they're going to draw around everything here.
Yeah.
Or freeze to it. Freeze. I guess a freeze to that top blue is pretty good.
Yeah, I think so too. I think you can get, I'm just trying to look at the circle there. I believe you could probably even get number 2 there. If you can get number 2 there, that would be quite good, I think. If you can just, it might have to overcurl a little tiny bit to get number 2, but. Or maybe not number 2. What would it be? Yeah, number 2. Number 3, yeah. I guess. No, number 3. I'll count the one at the back of the 4-foot on the left.
Yeah, they're sitting shot at the moment, but a very lonely shot.
Yeah.
Trying to give it a friend. Now, gonna be interesting because we haven't been down this side of the sheet at all this end.
No.
Yep. Hard. 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 That's good. Hard. Hard.
Just a little bit light.
I can't help to think that kind of played into it a little bit.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. We threw a lot of shots on that other side.
So, huge opportunity for Meacham and Team Laycock.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult for Thomas to get out of this. I think the good news is that rock, at least it rubbed off enough that he's got raises on both those reds. Might be an angle, but at least it's a raise. See where these ones end up.
Gonna have options, but there's just gonna be so much blue in the neighborhood.
Exactly, that's going to be the problem. It's going to be hard to get one somewhere where he can't just get rid of it, and he's got so many other ones. He's probably not going to have to worry about anything staying. It's going to be lots of blue ones that can count.
Braden Stewart's last in the 8th. And that's going to kick Papa Smurf right off the 4-foot. And we got 4 blues.
Yeah. Just trying to see what happens if you raise the outside red one they just threw, into that pocket.
Good chance you lose your other red there. But
yeah.
It's not going to do much for you, probably.
No, it's only number 5 right now, but yeah, it's and I don't know for sure what it does anyway. It's going to leave that red one just right there all by itself, and they can play that same angle raise takeout. Maybe this is another time where you have another look at coming off your own even, right? So come off your own and roll a little bit to the button, or even just a hair on the other side of the button, somewhere where you can't make that raise takeout.
Looks like they're thinking about running the center.
Yeah.
I can't imagine you're taking much ice here.
No, none. So little, we don't even know what turn he's going to throw. Yeah. It's got to come up a little bit more.
Going to make contact with the shot still, but roll off to the other side. They're going to have runs and in-offs, but they're going to be facing a whole village of Blue Rocks.
Yeah, that didn't work out very good. That made his next shot even harder than it could have been, because he would have been almost missing everything, and then he would at least had this other red one that he could have raised into that same pocket.
You hear the discussion there. Just peel that guard. I kind of like that call.
Yeah. Yeah, because I suppose, I mean, we know these ports are pretty small, even though they look bigger than they really are because of the way the rock runs down the sheet. But, he could possibly come around one of these and put it in a place where it was very difficult to get rid of. I'm just trying to figure out exactly how he would do that. I'm wondering if that draw, any kind of draw in there, is harder than just coming off that red one and rolling over into that pocket again. So that's probably the best shot, though, to be honest. I think no matter, Thomas would have to make a heck of a shot to be able to put it somewhere where you couldn't get it out if there's no guards there. Or just the one right-hand guard or left-hand guard, depending on which side we're looking at. Right hand here, I guess.
Yeah, they're going to peel that one, and that gives them unfettered access to play their own short raises.
Yeah.
You just don't want to leave one in a bad spot.
Yeah.
Ice crew lurking like vultures.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and in their minds just thinking, don't get one. They'd be cheering, they'd be switching their support here every shot.
Okay. Sean Meacham, here it comes.
Whoa, this is not.
That is suboptimal.
It might be one of the worst shots that anybody threw all day. Greg, you just can't, I don't even, that was just disaster.
Take another look at it, Jim. What do you see here?
Well, I assume he's trying to hit it on the inside. He had to just dump it way inside on the release. He was just trying to hit, high side there. So, and he throws that shot, big weight shot, so well. I don't know if something happened when he was coming out or what, but.
So it brings it. So it looks like Thomas is going to have an opportunity just to freeze on down there and lie shot, or I think that's the call here.
Well, yeah, it definitely is, and it's it's crazy in the sense that he could quite possibly force to one now, and he could make a good enough shot that Meacham's going to have to make a really good shot just to get to an extra end. That was wild. That was just unexpected.
So, wild turn of events here in Martensville. And Charley Thomas can really set himself up for success here. His final stone of the eighth on the way.
He can't afford to bounce off anything here. He has to just be just dead weight to it.
This looks hot. Needs to curl, needs to get over there. Oh, well, you're sitting shot. Question is, can you pick that out and still hold two? You certainly should be able to get your one.
Yeah, he should be able to, just to not throw it like the last one, but if he throws it properly and just lets it go right on there, it should come off the other blue, and so his shooter will stay and the back blue will stay. And if it overcurls a little tiny bit, the blue one that's there will still be there, and the back blue will go. So I don't think it's a real tough shot. The only way he only gets one, I think, if he hits it way too much on the high side and shooter goes and the red one goes and the blue one goes, and then he gets one from the other blue. So
Sean Macham, final stone at number 8. Needs to make the deuce. Just cleaning now. Trying to work it over. Gonna come into contact with it. And there you go, no problem. It's a score 2 for the win. They will score 6-5 over Charley Thomas and qualify through the A bracket here in Martensville. So we thank you for joining us. Jim, what do you think about how this game played out?
Well, the last few ends were really exciting. I mean, it was certainly interesting for us to watch and for the fans to watch with all the rocks in play, which was great. That last end was, kind of Meacham almost sort of tried to go give it away and then made a nice shot to win it. So that's about all you could do. I think it was both teams are really good. I would expect Thomas to have a really good shot at making it through the qualifying on the B side, and we'll see them both probably tomorrow.
All right, sounds like a plan, and keep it right here at Curling Stadium for all the actions, all the draws, all the sheets. We got it all here for you. For Jim Nix and Ryan Jacques, our producer, I'm Dave Schmel. Thank you for watching.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Saskatchewan, you know SaskTel because we're everywhere. Because being everywhere keeps us connected to you. With SaskTel sponsorships, we get to be part of your community. We're here with you, and we're here for you. It's easy to get started. All you need to do is apply. SaskTel cares. Always has, always will. To apply for sponsorship, visit sastel.com/sponsorships.